Hey guys, today I'm going to talk to you about Harry Potter, the books and the movies. Of course, my first contact with this wizarding world was through the books. I remember rereading the first three books over and over and over and over and over again, because by the time I had started, I had noticed that these books existed. Actually, there were only four. J.K. Rowling hadn't released anything else, so I had to wait a lot, like 3 years or something, or 2 years, I don't even remember. But it was a big thing when she launched number 5, because everyone had been waiting for that for a long time. So that was really exciting. It was really beautiful, because I think that reading really has an effect on young people, and that is that they really start using their imaginations, because you know, as a child you create a lot of things every day. You make drawings, you play with your Legos, you play with friends to things that you invented and that no one else had thought of, because we are really original when we are children. I don't know about children today, first of all, because I don't really have contact with smaller children like that. I don't know if it's the same thing still. Back when I was younger, that was the thing. You really created your games and your worlds and everything, and books like this really help to do that. Of course, I was really close to Harry because I was in school while he was in school, and so that was fun, basically, because I thought, oh, I have to study math and I have to study whatever else, and he has to study transformation and defense against the dark arts and all of that. And that was really exciting for me, because of course every kid that read Harry Potter back then wanted to be at Hogwarts, wanted to be a friend of Harry Potter's, because it was really amazing. I think that the least interesting thing about the books, to be honest, is the fight against evil, basically good versus evil, because everyone has done that, and that's kind of repetitive, to be honest, and that's not really the most interesting thing that J.K. Rowling invented. The most interesting thing that she invented was basically this world of magic and magical things and creatures and people and places and objects and everything. I mean, she has a huge mind to get all of that in order. And I remember watching a documentary back then when there were only 4 books, and she appeared there, and she had like this folder, like a manila folder, if you want. She said, okay, I have the last chapter of the last book here, because I already know what it is. I found that very interesting, because she really knew how to build this world around some of her ideas, some of the ideas, for example, that, you know, Harry is an orphan and he finds his family in friends and, you know, people that he gets to know really well. So of course that's really something that it's valid to say now, because traditional families are becoming more and more rare. Some people live with one of their parents or their grandparents or their aunt and uncle, like Harry does, or maybe they have 2 dads or 2 moms or whatever, you know. And Harry Potter was one of those books that really said, you know, families are not what they used to, and they look different now, and it doesn't mean that you are less of a person or less of a child because you don't have the same kind of family. And I think that's a really important message that Harry Potter has. I have to say that I love every single one of the movies. I think Daniel Radcliffe and Rupert Grint and Emma Watson were really great choices for the characters. I actually imagined the characters differently when I read it, but I think everyone does that, and I think that's beautiful. That even if I grab one of the Harry Potter books now, I'm going to imagine what I imagined back then, and not the characters that, you know, the people that I see in the movies. So that's really interesting, and of course it was very well made. I mean, Warner Brothers really did a great thing with those movies, and they are still milking that cow. I mean, they really are, because they are doing these Fantastic Beasts movies that are not really all Fantastic Beasts. I mean, they're trying to shoe in everything, but it's kind of annoying. I'm really not interested in Crimes of Grindelwald. I'm really not interested. I mean, Johnny Depp is kind of tired, to be honest, at this point, and I don't think Eddie Redmayne is a really enticing protagonist in any movie, except maybe Danish Girl, and even Alicia Vikander was better in that movie, but whatever. I don't really love those new movies, because I think it's just a cash cow for Warner Brothers. But I really love reading the books, reading them again. It really feels different to read these books now and then remember how you felt when you started reading them at the first time, because it was so magical when you started reading them. And I just remember staying up until, I don't know, 1, 2 a.m. maybe reading the books, because I just wanted to know what happened. And of course, as I had only the first 4 books, the 4th one, the Goblet of Fire, is the return of Voldemort and the return of his body when he tortures Harry, and Harry looks at him and says, okay, this guy is back. That was very powerful, and it was like, oh my god, when is the next one going to come out? And you know, when Order of the Phoenix finally came out, it was like, oh, thank god. I was so eager to read these books that I don't think number 5, but I think 6 and 7 I actually owned them in English, because the English edition was the first one released, and then the Spanish edition took like several months to be released, and I was like, no, I have to read that now. And I think I perfected part of my English because of those books, to be honest, because there have a lot of words that I had no idea existed, so I had to learn them in order to understand the book. So that's all another really great thing. I think there are great books for learning English, for learning other cultures, for learning a lot of other things, and to practice reading. I think reading is so important for younger people, so you could really use these books to start an interest in reading, in creation, in imagination, in everything that happens on the brain, and everything that helps you, you know, understand the world and see the world in a different way, basically. And just imagine and create with your mind whatever you want. And these books are exactly that. They are just hopeful in that way, and I think they are perfect, to be honest. This is my kind of review of the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, so thank you so much for watching. Please comment down below whatever you think about this series, about the books or the movies. Please share this video on social media, of course, like it and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much. Goodbye.